Hey guys, Mr. T-Pain here. Got lesson 99 coming at you. Alright, almost to 100. Here, we're talking about fraction, decimal, percent equivalence, which we've sort of done before. I think this is just putting it back together again. Really simple stuff. I don't think you're going to have an issue, okay? Remember, if you have a fraction, let's say 1/2, right? Really, you can see this as 1 being divided by 2. And in order to do the math here, you add a decimal point and a 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times. That decimal point goes up. Okay, 0.5. Now, I've turned that fraction into a decimal. In order to turn a decimal into a percent, I take that decimal point and I move it over 2 spots. So now I have 50%. If I have a decimal 0.867, I move this over 2, and I now have 86.7%. Cool thing is it works the other way too. If I have 32%, turns to 0.32. Okay, pretty cool. Now, let's say I want to turn this back into a fraction. Turns out also really easy. Remember, when we talk about decimals, we call them tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. Okay, and so on. The cool thing about that is if I have 0.2 or 2/10, okay, that is also my fraction, 2 over 10, 2/10. If I have 28 hundredths, okay, I have 28 hundredths. If I have 283 thousandths, I have 283 over 1,000. If I have 2,839 ten thousandths, I have 2,839 ten thousandths. Okay. Now, of course, with all of these, you're gonna have to do some simplification, right? This will turn into 1/5. This will turn into 14 over 50, which will turn into 7 over 25, right? Okay, so on and so forth. But the cool thing is when you're taking a percent or a decimal, right? Because if I have 38%, I could just take 38 over 100. I could have turned it into a decimal first, or I could have skipped that step. Okay. Maybe your hardest thing you're going to have to do with any of these is if you have 5/7 and you have to actually do the math to figure out your decimal. That's probably going to be your hardest part. Okay. I have 0 divided by 7. 7 times 7 is 49. There's a 1 left over. I already have the decimal here. So I have to bring down another 0. 7 goes into 10 one time. Remainder 3. 0 comes down. 7 goes into 30. 4 times? 28. Another 0. 7 goes into 20. 2 times, 14. 6. Okay. At some point, you'll probably want to stop. You can keep going and see if you get any further. 7 goes into 68 times. 8 times 7 is is that 54? 56 times with a remainder 4. So now I actually see if I get a remainder 4 again, I already know what's going to happen if I have a remainder 4. So 428 is going to repeat. Okay? Because 7 goes into 40. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong thing. 7 goes into 40. Actually, I haven't gotten a remainder of 4 yet. 7 goes to 45 times. Now we get the repeat, I think. 7 times, it's 35. Now there's 5. Okay, now we get it. So now it repeats at 5. My bad. So 0.714285 repeating. Okay, so that's the hardest thing you're going to get. The book isn't going to give you something as difficult as this, but turning the fraction into a decimal is going to be your hardest thing. Okay, turning a decimal into a fraction, into a percent, easy. Turning a decimal into a fraction is easy. The hardest thing, so right here, half, 0.5, you know that off the top of your head, which is 50%. 0.3, 30%, 3 over 10. Okay. 40%, 0.4, 4 over 10, which turns into 2 over 5. Okay. I think you'll do just fine on all of those. Let's go ahead and have you do 1 through 29 odd. And that's it. Have a good one, my dudes.